Hi, my name is John Tyler. I'm the host of this little television, media, newspaper expose, if you will. They always give you a tad of the news, a little bit of the truth, but as we all know by now, there's a real story behind the story. What are they trying to hide? What are they trying to protect? And we all know who their target always is. Now, today's story up on the screen here is why, I should say headline, is why are the gas prices dropping or plummeting, really plummeting? Here's the fake news version of why the gasoline prices are plummeting. They say, and I'm quoting from Money Magazine, it declares that the reason that the gas prices are falling is, quote, because AAA says that crude oil prices are falling. For gas prices to drop, crude oil prices would have to fall. But do they give us the reason? Of course not. So let me share with you the reasons. Fake news tells us only, as I said, the very limited portion of the real reasons why the price of crude oil has dropped. I'm going to tell you the real reason, the hidden reason, and the motive behind it. This is what we do here. As of October 1st, 2018, by the way, the price of a gallon of gas in my city was $2.56. October 1st. Very important to remember that date. I do. In 2006, however, the price of gas was as high as $4.16 a gallon, and the fake news back then told us that the oil markets were drying up because the oil was drying up. You know, fossil fuel, all those dead dinosaurs from 1,000,000 years ago, whatever. They're going away, they're being depleted, so therefore that's why gasoline was $4.16. If that's true, why are oil prices and gasoline prices plummeting now? I have the answer. Let me show you the price of gasoline as of November 21st in the city where I live. I'll put it up here on the screen. It had dropped from $2.56 a gallon to $2.22 a gallon. That's a savings of 34 cents. I wondered to myself, why? As I drove by that gasoline station, QT, why would the price drop 34 cents? Why now? So, a week later, I drove by the same exact gas station where I live and saw that the price of gasoline has dropped another 11 cents to $2.11, as you can see on the exact same gas station, same sign, same spot I usually pick. So I searched the TV and newspaper media. I found nothing. Why would that? Isn't that good news? No, I only saw or read how they were talking about how President Trump should break off the Saudi-U.S. relationship. Why were they pushing to break up the Saudi-United States relationship? They have motives. I will declare what they are in just a moment. On December the 4th, I drove by the same gas station, and lo and behold, the price of gasoline was $2.04, heading to a mark of $2 or below. $2.04. That is a drop of 52 cents from the highs of October 1st. Now, the good news for you and for me is that 52 cents a 52-cent drop per gallon on a 20-gallon tank like I have, that's a savings of $10.40 every time you or I fill up. $10.40, that's like getting a raise of $10.40 in cash right in your hand as soon as you pump gas. Shouldn't somebody be getting the credit for that? Something caused the price of gasoline to drop. Did the media give the president any praise at all for having the price of gasoline and home heating fuel, especially in New England, where I used to come from, to substantial lows like those we've seen in the past? Did they? No. Did the media tell us the real reason why crude oil prices fell right after October 1st, when it was $2.56 a gallon? No. So that's why I'm here, to bring you the real news, not the fake news, not the hidden news. Do you remember this guy here? This guy. He's been on the news for about a month in a row, backing up from the time I'm doing this video on December the 5th, 2018. His name, or should I say his name, I was going to say is, but his name was Jamal Khashoggi. And of course the newsroom wants me right now. We'll have to dismiss that. Jamal Khashoggi was murdered in a Saudi embassy in Turkey, as you probably have seen in the news, whether newsprint or news media. You know, the evening news at 6:30. And he was murdered on October 2nd, the day after gas prices were $2.56 a gallon. Is there a tie-in? You bet there is. The media immediately told us that the Saudi Prince Salman, must have ordered the hit. Well, why would they do that? Why would they all of a sudden blame an individual? Because they always tie everything back to Trump. The Saudi Prince, he's the culprit. He's the one who ordered the hit on Jamal Khashoggi. And so therefore, he's a friend of Donald Trump. You see where they go with this thing? And Donald Trump, President Trump, they don't even call him president anymore. They call him Mr. Trump or the president. They don't even like using his name anymore. They hate the guy. You know that, of course, if you see the news every day like I do. So, the media, why would they try to make us believe that President Trump should break ties with the Saudi government? Remember, the media hates President Trump. So what was their game? Real simple. Their game has always been to get Trump out of the White House by any means possible. You've seen it. His Supreme Court nominee, that was a fiasco, but he finally got in. Trump won. They hate it when he wins. He promised us, he says, you'll be tired of winning. So if they could create a rift between the Saudis and the U.S., that is the media, which is a bunch of progressives, I'll explain that in a minute too. If they could create that rift between Saudi Arabia and the United States, if they could do that, then the price of oil would skyrocket. That would be correct. That would be exactly right. The price of oil would have shot way up. Now, President Trump said on October the 2nd, that is the day Khashoggi was murdered, and they tried to tie everything back to the Saudis, the media. He said this: the Saudis are a close ally of the United States, so I don't plan on breaking ties with them. And if I did, he said, the price of oil in the world would skyrocket, and that would be bad for the United States economy. He called them out on this scheme. They hate that when he does that. Now, the Saudi prince took President Trump at his word, and he, the Saudi prince, ordered on October the 2nd, remember, that the oil production would increase. When oil production increases, the market becomes more saturated with oil, and the price per barrel would drop. And it did drop from $70 a barrel back in October to $53 around now. That's a huge drop caused by the Saudi prince aligning himself with Donald Trump and basically thanking him and us for still supporting the Saudis. So that's the real news behind the headline of why gasoline prices are dropping. The media will never tell you the real story because it shows that President Trump is outfoxing them at every turn. He caused the price of gasoline to drop, and no media credits him whatsoever. Now, here on this real news program, we tell you the real story behind the phony headlines that are always geared toward making Trump look bad, with their end goal of getting him out of the White House. Why? I'll tell you why. It's too long to do in this video, but you'll have to read my free book. If you go to www.relationshipbooks.com, you'll see I have 8 books up there. One of them is called Trump Won, Now the Aftermath, and it depicts exactly what happened from the day after the election when I wrote that book. It's real easy to follow too. It tells what the progressives are up to and why immediately they wanted to get rid of Trump in any way possible. Now, that will tell you why the progressives, some call them liberals, like Rush Limbaugh and a few others call them liberals. No, they're not liberals, they are progressives. And if you want to know what a progressive is and what they're up to against you, then I suggest this. The progressives are really communists in Democrat clothing. They hijacked the Democrat Party that we all used to know. I suggest that you Google this, the Communist Manifesto of 1963. There are 45 articles in there that commies want to promote. And they really want control over you. And that Communist Manifesto is exactly what the progressives are living by. So read it. Do yourself a favor. I want to shock you. So go to Google and read it so that you don't think I'm making this stuff up. Most of those articles, 45 of them, have already been won by progressives. Now, my next article, or expose, if you will, on this station, will be taken from this headline. French protesters are marching in the streets, rioting over high gas prices. That's the headline, but they never get back to why the high gas prices in France. The media once again tells us just enough to cover the story, but they leave out the why the fuel prices went up to over $7 a gallon in France. I'm going to tell you why, and you might be shocked. But French President Macron is a forerunner of what these progressives are trying to do worldwide, and they tried to do it in the United States a while back, and it was stopped. So until next time, I shall see you later.